Hey, it's Clyde at Vibrant Soap, and you hear the noise in the background, you know what that means. They're working on the deck right now, and I still want to make soap, so I'm just going to go ahead and ignore all that noise. And I just extracted some fresh cucumber juice to make a cucumber soap. I'm going to make some real subtle color swirls on this one, so I'll show you the color tutorial where I took the real colors of cucumber and I kind of toned them down because I didn't want that dark green and the light green. I want more on the light side. So let's get started. Okay, showing you just a little bit of the behind the scenes prep that I do for my color tutorials, and this is my watercolor packet of ovals. You can find that in most art shops. I've been encouraging people to invest in these. They're not very expensive. I don't remember how much they were. And then here's my source of inspiration, making a cucumber soap. So I want to look at the colors, and I'm not even going to use the true to life colors for this. If you hear noise out there, they're working on the deck. But because I have an idea of a more subtle coloration in this soap, I do have the inspiration of the real subtle qualities of cucumber. I mean, that its scent is so faint and mild, and so I want to carry that through with the soap. So I'll show you why. I'll talk about that in a moment. So here's my water, just kind of diluting the colors because they're kind of hard. In my mind's eye, there's a inner portion of the cucumber that has an ochre quality to it. And to get an ochre, I need a little brown, a little yellow, and that's a little too brown for me, so I also warm it up with a little orange, and there's a nice ochre color right there. So behind the scenes, I'm getting those colors ready, and that's all ready to go there. I'm going to take a little bit more of this white. If you're going to mix anything with white to save your paints, start with the white first because it can take on the colors that you add to it very easily. So getting back to what I want, I already have my ochre, I have my pure white, and I'll show you this green right out of the kit. That is just blatantly green. So I want to kind of match this real cucumber, and it's almost black, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add some black to it. I added too much, and that right there is just about the cucumber color. The cucumber is actually blacker than that, so I may as well shoot for that. So there's a really dark green there. I'm not going to even use it. I'm just trying to understand the real colors of the cucumber. But what I really do like is this really light green, and for that I'm going to start off with white and add just a little touch of the green there. And that's, to me, more of a minty green, and the cucumber has a more yellowy green, so I'll just add a little yellow. And now I need more white. So you see why I do this off camera. It takes a while to get the colors that I want to show you, and color takes a bit of effort to get the colors that you really want. I think that would benefit actually from a little bit of orange, but just a little bit. Okay, that's the creamy color that I really want. Okay, so ignore this purple that I showed you with this demonstration. These are the colors of the cucumber, but I'll show you what I have in mind for the actual soap. So the color that I want the most of is this creamy green. And some of that purity got messed up, so let me add some white into it. And a tiny bit more green. Alright, so there's one of the colors I'm actually going to use in my soap. I also want to use some of that ochre color that I came up with. So here's the ochre color that I want to use also. And it's a bit too dark. I want this to be a really subtle soap. There we go. White. And now I'm thinking I do want some of that darker green, but not too dark. So I want the look of the soap again to reflect the real mildness. That is the color scheme that I'm shooting for. And on the color wheel, it's just colors that are pretty closely related. More on the analogous color scheme, minus the yellow. I don't want yellow in this soap, except for the ochre. And that's it. Okay, ready to add the lye. And I already have my cucumber juice in there. Milks and clays. And sodium lactate. And then I'll get the colors ready. I'll add my fragrance and I'll be right back. Just the fragrance. It's cucumber melon. And my base is going to be the light green. But I have some gold. White. Darker green. I want it a little lighter than that. Just get a majority of this in there. Trying to pour really close to the soap so most of this stays on the surface, and I'm also trying not to cover over that white. The last soap I talked about was having a big difference in the color values, and this soap is the exact opposite. I want the values to be real close to each other so I get a real subtle stripe. I'm going to turn the camera to black and white so that you can see how close the color values are. They're almost all the same shade of gray except the white. And this is the consistency I wanted for the top. Now all I have to do is get the separators in there, the dividers. So that's it. This is the making of cucumber melon. Zoom in on that. And I'll show you the unmolding. Okay, let's unmold this cucumber melon. I like how it came out. So this was a good color scheme to talk about as far as not wanting as much contrast for like a dramatic look in the design of the soap. This is more of a subtle color scheme and subtle design. And what makes it subtle is that the color values are really close to each other, so there's no striking value difference between the colors. And the design is subtle because the swirls are so tight that it's perceived as like a whole as opposed to different sections of stripes or something like that. So let's get this out of the mold, and it usually slips out really easily. Yep, it's out already. The bars are falling out. So there's one. Should be really gentle soap. Gelling the soap usually produces heat, and I think the soap sweats a bit and it self-lubricates so that it just slides out, because like I just take that out, it slips out. But everybody does soaps differently, so who knows what variable it is that's causing some to have difficulty unmolding from this. Show you this one and show you this in black and white also, so you can see that there's not much variation in the values of the colors. I showed you this when I was making it, I think, but that makes it subtle. And I think that cucumber melon is a real subtle scent, so it calls for a subtle design. I wanted to unmold these yesterday, but they were putting in a new door to our deck, and that's where the best light is for me to do this unmolding, so I had to wait. And they're all out of the mold. So let me get this soap off my hands so I can turn the camera around and show you what the deck looks like. So let's show you the state of the deck. Can't walk on it yet, but they put the doors in, sliders, but we promised our contractor that we wouldn't walk out there and go through the deck, and we decided that we didn't want to break our legs. So that's what it's looking like, and we're waiting on just the top portion to be put down, and then I can do the reveal of the whole operation. So thanks for watching. This is Clyde at Vibrant Soap, and hope to see you real soon. Bye everybody.